start in the room here with Tom Turin first. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, if it seems like maybe a little bit different every time, but the same thing, you guys can't score a goal. What needs to change?
Yeah, I mean, we have to have a really good look at it and see where it went wrong. I mean, the feeling was good up until they scored. You know, we had a lot of chances and they didn't. So you know, we have to have a good look at why we didn't score on all those chances. You know, defended well up until then, and the last 15-20 is not good. You know, they got energy from the goal, and we dropped a little bit, and you know, that's when they created the chances they had in the game. I thought I had one half chance in the first half. That you know, up until the first goal, they didn't have anything, and then they created some danger, and obviously the second goal as well after that.
Like the chances today, was the finishing the problem today?
Again, I don't know. We have to look at this. There are quite a lot of situations in the box as well. It looked extremely close from us scoring, but I couldn't really see who was last on the ball. You know, if it was a save or if we just missed from a couple of yards. And then we had some really good chances, 1v1 with the keeper. You know, keeper did well. We were a little bit unlucky with Conrads in the first half, and had quite a few shots from outside as well. So yeah, obviously really disappointed not to win this game.
Does this just build within the team after a while when it just keeps happening that you can't score?
I don't know. I think it's like you said. It sort of happens in different ways. You know, today's game was different to last week's game. You know, and probably the game we've created the most. You know, so in a couple of games this season we haven't created enough. You know, especially away from home against Philadelphia, San Diego. Today we created a lot. So you know, that's obviously something we look at first. How do we create more chances than the opponents, and then obviously scoring from there and prevent them from scoring.
Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, is there something to be said with just like individual execution as well? Because there are definitely moments where players got into the opportunities, but then like something goes wrong in the final pass or the final shot, and then on that first goal against too, it seemed like just kind of a lapse in the defensive marking as well.
Yeah, I mean, overall I can't fault the guys in defending throughout the whole season. Also today we restricted them to barely nothing, and I mean, especially here at home during the season they've created some chances. You know, so I mean, obviously scoring goals is one of the most difficult moments in soccer. So you know, that's something we're working hard on in improving, and you know, hopefully will come.
It seemed like in that first half too, a little bit more of an attacking lineup, and you did have some moments. Ballum goes off the post in that first half as well that maybe changes things if that goes in. But going from the first half to the second half, was there kind of a noticeable change, or was it just kind of being on the wrong end of the stick, so to speak?
No, I think we did well up until the goal. We dominated the game in the second half. Up until the goal, had our chances. Yeah, we were obviously looking to push from there, and then their goal came, and you know, it was a big blow for us, obviously, and we gave them energy, and last 15-20 wasn't good.
If Ballum scores there in the first half, obviously, does it change everything really in this game?
Yeah, I mean that chance we had, and I think, you know, 3 more really big chances, and then quite a lot of half chances and shots from outside. So any of those, you know, and I felt. You know, at that moment or before they scored, you know, they were struggling, and they looked tired. We had a good energy. We were finding space where we wanted. So yeah, it was the moment we conceded, it wasn't a good one.
We'll go virtual to Jeremy Clements. Jeremy, go ahead.
Thanks much. Olaf, can you first talk a little bit about the fans? It seemed like there was a pretty good vocal presence there at Children's Mercy tonight. So with what you've seen in your playing career and now as a coach in several leagues, can you just talk a little bit about what that fan support means to you away from home?
Yeah, it was amazing, and they did extremely well throughout the whole game, and even when we were 1-2-0 down, they continued to support us. So for sure they were amazing today.
And then just another question. It seems like in recent weeks we've seen players starting to make similar runs, occupying similar spaces on the pitch. Obviously, you haven't had a chance to watch this game back yet, but is spacing a concern for you guys offensively at this point in that final third?
Today it wasn't, I think. Again, I thought we created enough chances. We managed to go in behind them. We had some really good runs, especially from Conrad. We had been working on. Then with Joachim's injury, we decided to put Conrad on the left, and Thomas is a different profile in that position, more of a possession player. So we didn't have as much threat in behind after that, but on the other hand, created a lot on that left-hand side with good combinations between Cello, Conrad, and Celio.
And then just one more question for you, Coach. Seems like the second time and third games, we've seen a little bit of extracurricular stuff at the end with Klaus. Any comment or concern about that?
I didn't see anything actually. I didn't see what happened.
We'll go to Matt Rockhill.
Good evening, Coach. Quick question here on Celio. Why is his 1v1 ability so important to this team? Why does it seem to open up this offense so well? Obviously, off the bench last week, it gave you guys a punch. And then today, you saw it again, just gave you a lot of punch throughout the entire game. Why is that 1v1 ability from Celio such a game changer in this system?
Yeah, I think because we don't have so many more players who can who can do that. I mean, we lack a little bit of speed in some positions up front, So most attacks we really need to combine well, have good positions, and I think in general that's the way we built our team. Teamwork, defending, attacking, and trying to create chances for each other rather than having 2 or 3 or 4. Individuals, like we played Austin last week, with how much money they have spent over the last year to have that quality in 3 or 4. We've built a good squad, a good team here, and are working hard as a team, But definitely Celio is one of those players who can take people on and is technically skillful. So yeah, he gives us that in the final third especially.
Go ahead, Tom.
Do you know anything about Joachim's situation?
No, but it seems to be the same knee, but we don't know what it is yet and how serious that is.
You watched all of this team's games from last year. At the end of last season, they were scoring goals at a pretty good clip. Do you see something that's missing from the team that finished pretty strong offensively at the end of last year?
Oh, I see similar things that I've seen in preseason and so far in beginning of this season. Again, this is how this team is built. I don't think we have those 2 or 3 players that are going to score all of our goals. We have to find various ways of creating chances and scoring goals. We have the set pieces as well, so a little bit disappointing now in the last couple of games not to score a goal. We had quite a few today again, and obviously we lost against Philadelphia on a set piece as well. So that's something we're looking at to be strong as well, and then for various players to contribute in our attack.
Well, then what made them, if they were effective at the end of last season? Something seems to have changed.
I mean, we're looking at details in how those goals were scored and the rest of the games and goals conceded and previously in their careers and everything. I mean, we have like to have a very clear view of the players are working before I come into a new club, and I think I did, but obviously you get to know them even better after working with them, and you know we you know that's something obviously we're working with to get the most out of the quality we have.
Justin.
Coach, when Joachim goes down, the sub is Thomas Oshak coming in. Was that just personnel if he was available, or was there something that you saw early on in the game that you wanted to kind of address?
No, I mean I thought we had a good start, you know, with Conrad there in that position. He found good space, like hybrid midfielder attacker. Got that 1v1 as well from that position, and looked dangerous. So I think the game plan was working well, but we also saw an opportunity to get a good overload there on the left-hand side with Conrad and Celio, and then move Kyle back. So you know, we had a good start, and we felt it was a good opportunity to make an attacking change with Thomas for Joachim. So you know, looking at the game, I thought it worked well up until they scored.
We'll wrap up here with Tom.
If you, other than not scoring, do you like the combination up front with Klaus and Celio out there? Is that a group that worked well, the attack today? Since you didn't score, but...
Yeah, I mean, I would like to have a really good look at it before I answer in detail how and when and during what periods it worked well, but you know, I thought they fought hard, both of them, and yeah, we created chances, enough chances to score today. I think so. Yeah, we'll have a look at it and see how we can build on the positives, and definitely improve on the negatives.
Okay.
Coach, thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right, everyone, we have Josh Yaro here. We'll start in the room here with Tom.
Josh, obviously you're not a forward, but when the team goes 3 games like this without scoring a goal, what's the level of concern about how this team is going right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but, you know, at the end of the day, I think in training sessions, I mean, we're working hard as a team, trying to figure it out, you know, and this team can score. I mean, we showed that in the early game with 3 goals, you know, so, again, it's tough when you don't score, but I think as a team, I see guys coming in every day and working on it, and the coaches are doing everything that they can, so sometimes you have those moments, but, you know, I've said this over and over again, but I think, you know, I have the confidence in this team that we have the guys that can score, and it's just a matter of time at this point.
Is this kind of thing, though, based on how this team was scoring at the end of last season with pretty much the same guys, is it surprising to have, I mean, been shut out now 5 times in 7 games?
Yeah, again, like I said, it's tough. It's tough because, you know, as players and the way that we're conditioned with this club, it's you defend as a team, you score as a team, and so at the end of the day, it's all of us, all you know, from the goalkeeper all the way up to the forwards. It's our jobs, because when we build out and we progress the ball, everyone has to play a part to get it to the strikers, and then for us to get a goal. And it's the same thing when we defend. So, I mean, this is not a strikers thing. This is not a it's the whole team. And I think, you know, as a team, like I said, we're figuring out ways that we can make things work. Ways that, you know, we can figure it out. And you look at today, you know, some bounces that don't go our way. And if one of those bounces, sometimes you get lucky, it goes in. It's a whole different game. But yeah, we just have to go back home, reassess everything, and it's a new week, new challenge ahead, and keep fighting.
You got a feel for Joachim Nielsen to get hurt another time. It's just has been so rough for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You know, it's tough as a player. You know, you deal with your fair share of injuries, and you see guys go through injuries, and it's you know, my heart sank a little bit when I saw him down, and I was hoping it was, you know, nothing serious, and I still hope it's nothing serious. You know, he looks fine. He's walking, so hopefully it was just, you know, out of precaution. You know, I would say, but we'll find out when we get home.
Justin.
Josh, yeah, kind of speaking to that. So Tomas Loshack comes in when Nilsson gets hurt. And, like, can you speak a little bit to that mentality shift of when you have to make like a change so early and shift around the back line a little bit there?
Yeah, again, when the game starts, everyone has a feel for it. People get into it, get into a rhythm, and when you have to make a change when you really weren't expecting to make a change. I mean, that kind of that's always tough to deal with. But I think the group adjusted pretty well, and Strike is a really good player, a player that I personally really rate. And so again, it was just a change. I don't really read much into it. And I think when Ostra came in, he had his fair share of good moments. So for us, it's just a different personality, in the way that things are done. But at the end of the day, you're replacing one good player with another really good player.
And like going from that way to the end of the first half, it seemed like there is some real momentum knocking on the door, and then come out of the first half, coming into the second half, it seemed like that momentum was still there, and then after the first goal, things kind of dropped. Like, can you talk a little bit about like just what was going on with the mentality at that point?
Yeah, again, it's tough when you put it as a mentality issue. It's just you know how it is in sports. Sometimes you have momentum, and then like all of a sudden like one thing happens, and it just completely changes. Whether it's it's a missed chance, whether it's whatever it may be, and it just changes the whole complexity of the game. And I think that's probably what happened. And again, as players, I think there's always a moment of reflection, and I think as players, we do know that at the end of the day, especially in a game like that, that there's always things that we could have done better to secure a result. So yeah, we take that upon us as players as well, because it's not just. I think people always ask the coaches and what is wrong, but as players as well, like we have to take some of that accountability on ourselves and look at what we could have done individually as players, because we got prepped really well for this game, and everything that we got prepped is exactly how they came out. So on that part, on the coaches, they did what they had to do, and I think tonight it was on us as players to finish the job.
We'll go online to Jeremy Cummins.
Thanks so much, Josh. Can you just talk a little bit about what you saw on the 2 goals by Kansas City and just how those were created?
Yeah, I mean, the first goal, to be honest, they had a pretty good entry ball into the midfield, and then the goal resulted out of that. And then the second goal, we knew that they were going to press. We knew that they were going to really aggressive, especially when we had the ball in our end. And we saw that in the first half. We saw that throughout the game. And they got the second goal, through their press. And so, like I said before, it was nothing really surprising, because we got prepped for exactly how they came out. And so at the end of the day, like I said, as players, we have to look ourselves in the mirror and go, maybe, tonight was a night that we could have done a lot better, because we got prepped exactly how they came out. We had everything we needed to go out there and win.
Olof has said that a couple times where I think he said it after the Austin game, said earlier, we prepared for that, we were ready for that, and we didn't, in that moment, handle it. Is that how it's been?
Yeah, again, I think, to credit to the coaching staff, they've prepared us well in every game that we've gone into. We know exactly what the opponent is going to be about, and we get prepped for it. So at the end of the day, I think as far as their job goes, sometimes that's all they can do, because once we step on the field, it's up to us as players to execute, and especially tonight, I thought we had enough, to win the game, and their credit, like I said, we went out there, and that's exactly how we're told that we're going to come out. So no surprises there, and yeah, as players, again, we'll take it upon ourselves. We'll keep working, and we'll keep. Working to get results, because for us, like this is not great. Like I want to sit here at a press conference and actually have something good going on, and so it's tough for us as players. But at the end of the day, when you're going through tough times, you gotta keep working hard, and I think that's the only thing that we can do from now on.
Does that lead to like the emotions we saw after the final whistle there with?
Yeah, no, it's again, these games, it's always going to be played based on high emotions, and if I remember correctly, I think one of their players was going to our fans, and you know, and that's, for me, that's really disrespectful. You win a game, it's over, it's done and dusted. Move on. There's no need. You're playing at home. Go say thank you to your fans and walk away. There's no need for that. And I think some of our players, yeah, if I were that close, I would have reacted the same way. Don't disrespect our fans like that.
Yeah, but how tough is this on the team right now? It's the start of the season. You're hoping for a good start.
Yeah.
Optimism is high, and then it's been like this.
Yeah, it's tough that we can talk about things and hide behind curtains and say things, and the reality is this is a really tough time. It's tough in many ways, but I think this team is pretty resilient, and we do have enough quality. We do have the right people to turn this around. It's just a matter of, you know, us believing in it, us taking to the vision of the club and the coaches, and just, you know, keep grinding. Because at the end of the day, that's, you know, we gotta outwork our opponents. We gotta keep believing. Because once that belief goes away, then we have nothing. And I think this team is still pretty confident in what we can do, and that's what we're going to continue doing. We're going to continue working. We're going to take it game by game, and we're going to turn it around. You've seen it in MLS. You win 1-2 games, and all of a sudden it's a different season you're looking at. And so we're hoping for that break. We're working for that break, and I'm confident that break is going to come soon.
Josh, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.